And good evening from Park City, where the Sundance Film Festival is in full swing on day 2 now of the festival, where thousands of people are flocking to Park City to take part in some way or another. Some people lucky enough to view a film, others listening in on the panels, or some just even come for the people watching. Now today we were honored to be at the premiere of Still, a Michael J. Fox movie. It was a powerful moment to witness the production crew of this documentary watch Michael J. Fox walk in. You could feel the respect, the admiration, and the inspiration they felt for Michael J. Fox. It was a powerful moment leading into the premiere of a very personal story with Parkinson's. It was an energetic entrance into his Sundance stretch, all for the premiere of his film Still, a documentary telling the improbable tale of Michael J. Fox's rise to stardom and then the unexpected diagnosis. Director Davis Guggenheim summarizes it best.
This movie is not about Parkinson's. It's really about a short kid from Canada who dropped out of high school to try to become a big movie star, and it actually happens. And then when it happens, life sends him this thunderbolt.
That thunderbolt, Parkinson's disease. As a young Hollywood star in the 80s, Michael J. Fox was diagnosed at age 29.
And so what do you do with that? You know, at first he was very ill-equipped. And at first he did some of the wrong things before he did the right things. It's about how he personally, as a human, dealt with adversity. And that's something I think that's what the movie's about, is how we all deal with adversity.
But as heavy as that sounds, the film director, producers, composer, and editor all say, because Michael J. Fox is who he is, the film is undeniably fun.
The interviews with him are just hysterically funny.
We struggled in the edit before we interviewed him to make the film work. And once he sat down and he just rolled off his story, he was incredible. Like, he's one of the funniest people I've ever met, and he's witty, and most importantly, he was honest.
Intimate and honest, the film explores what happens when an incurable optimist confronts an incurable disease, bringing perspective and inspiration to those with or without insight into the complex, debilitating disease.
Everyone should see it. Now, later, you know, when it's on Apple, when it has a theatrical release. Yeah, I think, you know, if you're a fan of Michael's, or not, or you don't know anything about him, whatever it is, there is such a great story of humanity and tenacity and persistence and love that I don't care who you are, it's going to be, I think you should see it. I think you're going to like it. Sundance is known as the place for independent filmmakers to try to get their big start. We're all very familiar in Utah with Napoleon Dynamite, of course, one of the classics that started at Sundance. Quentin Tarantino got his launch here. But outside of the films, Sundance is a place many come to listen to the panel discussions, workshops, parties, and even the music that they offer here. It's an annual event that brings a worldwide community together. And according to Dan Howard, the Vice President of Communications with Visit Park City, the festival is an integral part of Park City and has been for 40 years. So to finally be back in person after a couple of years virtual, this is a huge year.
We have directors and producers and actors who are in our town talking about really important social issues, whether it's human trafficking or the impacts of war or climate or wildlife. These are things they're passionate about, and our town is passionate about it. And so we need to have those conversations in our town again, in person, instead of just virtual where it could be anywhere. This is part of Park City's legacy. Howard
explained that Sundance isn't this huge financial boost necessarily, mentioning that hotels and Airbnbs are seeing about a 30 to 35% higher occupancy during the 10 days compared to when it was all virtual. But the festival is mostly about the meaning it brings to the city, something Utahns as a whole, he says, should experience at some point or another, and something we as Utah should always appreciate. The Sundance Film Festival will take place here in Park City, with some events also in Salt Lake City through January 29th. In Park City, I'm Florez, ABC 4 News.